Uh,
Brandon.
hey,
Okay,
hey,
I saw a
no,
comment. I
no,
saw a comment
yes.
that we need to comment about.
That's what we're gonna start with. It's not like, hey, happy day, good day. The
No,
markets are
no, no.
well,
We're
they're a
going to
little
start with
red.
this. I think we need to do a little bit of record clearing. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Charlene. Where do we start? Oh, you went silent there for a sec, Brandon.
No, I didn't go silent. I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Let's clear up some of the job roles. First of all,
Okay.
you know that Anthony and Raymond are like interns, basically, right? They just kind of contribute to the chat. They're not really employees. They're helping, and that's amazing. But they weren't a part of Hypercycle from the beginning. They're not investors. They're not owners. They're not founders. They're not co-founders. They're not executives. You could make a very loose argument that they might be contract employees, but I promise you there's no employee contract. It doesn't exist. These are just dudes that help out. Okay? So that's where they are. Then there's Brandon and I, who were here with Toofy and Dan when it was me, Toofy, Dan, Brandon, Robert, Ben Gortzel, and Mario. See that? Those 7? That's the whole fucking list, Charlene. You can call it co-founders. You can call it whatever you want. Who built the entire sales portal and created all the pricing for all of Hypercycle? The guy right above me built the whole fucking thing. All of it. All of it. Okay? Did Hypercycle build it? No. Did Ben build it? No. Mario, Toofy, Dan, Robert? No. Fucking no. Certainly not Antonice and Raymond, whoever the fuck they are in the chat. They are nothing. They are fucking molecules floating through the universe trying not to get sucked into a black hole. They can't onboard fucking shit because they don't know anything. This is the problem, Charlene. I'm not really venting to you. I'm venting outward using you as a vessel. You're my vessel, Charlene. The reason Hypercycle hasn't onboarded anybody is because they can't. There's nothing to onboard. No one can explain how to actually do it. No one. I had 3 calls with the co-founder, Dan, and my team, and they still can't figure out how to turn on a fucking node. Can't figure it out. So there is no just please contact some interns. What you're saying is tantamount to, hey, listen, please go to the Apple store and talk to the greeter so that Tim Cook will know what is the next piece of software to build. Do you realize how fucking stupid that sounds? Anyone? Is it just me? I say this because it's not just you, Charlene. I get a lot of people, hey, go tell them, motherfucker, the buck stops at us. Why do you think I backed out of all those meetings? They're fresh out of ideas. I was the only fucking lifeblood in there other than Brandon, who was very good about keeping his mouth quiet because he didn't want to cuss the way I did. I just got pissed off when he didn't. He actually has more self-discipline than I do. He has a lot more self-discipline. I don't. And so when I see something bad, I say, you fucking suck. And I point fingers at the people that fucking suck and tell them to get the fuck out or make a change. Well, that doesn't always work. You can only do that when you're the boss. If you're not the boss, you can't do that. So I realized staying in those groups with the executives, that doesn't include Antonice and Raymond, executives, the dudes running shit, okay? We are 2 of the 5 dudes running shit. And we backed out because no one will listen to any fucking thing we have to say for years. So we backed the fuck out and we said, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure you have the most amazing sales portal, Node Market. We're going to make sure everything is consistent and it's easy for people to manage their nodes. And we are going to represent the investors, not people that put $6 together and no, investors. We are going to represent the investors and do what's best for them. And sometimes a little contentious relationship is what you need because people get fucking lazy and they spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on wasteful airfare, first-class tickets to fucking nowhere to talk to no one about nothing instead of building their fucking business. Anyway, that's all. Felt good. All right. So for anybody else that has any questions about why we can't onboard, please see this meeting. Yeah, Anthony probably is great at being a fucking admin in a chat. All right, let's see. Question. When they started the company, how was the product supposed to work? Brandon? How was it supposed to work with Hypercycle?
Well, they were supposed to put all our nodes to work and we were supposed to make money. I didn't care. I don't care how the sausage is made. I was told by Tufi multiple times, and I think you were as well. He released this spreadsheet about how we were going to generate income based on them putting our nodes to work and doing compute for us. And so I didn't care that much. It's like when I invest in Tesla, I don't care how they create FSD. All I know is they're going to do it. So I don't really think about that much, Chris. Good point. But theoretically, they were supposed to take these nodes and get these partnerships, and the partnerships or the businesses or whatever were supposed to integrate them into their AI stacks or their compute stacks and pay Hypercycle X amount of dollars per node per month. And then we, as node factory owners, would get a percent of that. That's what I understood. Based on what I was told.
Plug and play.
Yeah, based on the spreadsheets that I was given and stuff like that. Now, fast forward, here we are. It started to iterate into the fact that we were supposed to put the nodes to work with doing something that I don't know what. And they still have not been able to answer that question. So I feel like the message was not articulated clearly or misguided.
There's no answer is the problem.
There
is no answer. We've asked these questions for, and I'm not joking, years, plural years, more than 1 years. And what we have never gotten an answer. There's tons of people with nodes and licenses that would I'd love to plug it in. Okay, if you won't do it, tell me what I need to do. And they cannot tell you. They cannot answer. So, Drew, it's not vaporware. It's just like a box and a wall socket, and they're like, plug it in. You're like, but you didn't give me the adapter. I can't plug it in. They're like, just plug it in. Like, I can't plug it in. I don't know how. Matter of fact, looking at the box, there's not even a plug where the transformer, where the plug into the wall, the power supply. There's not even that plug. What am I supposed to do? They're like, figure it out. We can't figure it out. They can't figure it out. So again, it comes down to communication. They have all this cool software and all this cool IP, and they won't tell anyone how to plug the motherfucker in. Now, I think I know why that is. And this is one of the reasons I blew up in the meetings last week and told them I'm getting the fuck out of there and I'm not going to waste my time anymore. And I think it's that they need a certain amount of these nodes functioning in order for any of the nodes to work. Meaning they have to put some of them to work to make nothing, and they have to spread them out. And I think you need some minimal amount. I don't know, 5,000 or 10,000. And when I said this to Tufi on a one-on-one call, he said, yes, no, this makes sense. And that's the direction I thought we were going in. And then one day later, he backtracked and said some completely different shit on a meeting. And that's when I lost my shit. I said, you know what? I'm fucking done. I was a lot more polite about it. I was a lot more, political about it. But I said, the messaging in here is terrible. You guys have miscommunicated to the world what this is. And none of these deals look legitimate to me. None. I mean, like these government deals. And I mean, when I say legitimate, I mean, they don't look like good deals. Hypercycle gets nothing out of it other than giving away a bunch of nodes. And so I said, okay, maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. Maybe what these deals are actually is just a big marketing experience. Hey, do whatever you can to get the nodes out there. And once they're out there and functional, then you've created the network where other nodes can get some benefit from other nodes, right? Like you need a certain minimal amount. And I don't know what that number is, but I figure it's probably 10,000. You need 10,000 of these suckers out there in the wild to communicate with each other. Otherwise, you don't have a network. Like if you just have a cell phone and you're in the caveman days, it doesn't do you any good. You can't call anyone, right? You just, yeah, great IP, bro. The cell phone's awesome, but you can't call anyone and there's no satellites in space. You can do nothing with it. And some caveman's gonna come shove a bone up your ass. So that's where we're at. So yes, they have a cell phone, but it's 10,000 years ago. And it doesn't matter because there's no network for the cell phone to utilize. I think that's the problem, even though they won't quite admit it, but they've kind of around the edges admitted it. So that's what I thought, okay, these government deals, because they're trying to do these government deals with the Emirates and South Korea and Nigeria and all these countries. So they're trying to get this done, I guess, as a marketing thing, but it doesn't bring any money to Hypercycle. So when people say, how do I make money with my nodes? There is no answer. There's no answer because until that network exists, how would you make money? And I believe, even as thick-headed as they are, I do believe if there was any goddamn way to make money off these things, they would be doing it by now. I mean, saying onesies or twosies, not having that network built. So they have to build that network. And I think when they realized this, they were embarrassed. And rather than just come forward and tell people, okay, we failed to assume that we would need a minimal amount of nodes in working, in production, before we could get results. We didn't realize this. We do realize this now. It's going to take a little longer. Instead of just owning it, just fucking own it, they change the story a little and change the story a little and never tell anyone no. No, don't tell anyone no. It's like all these dudes grew up in Hollywood. Yeah, hey, do you like my script? I don't not like it. What do you mean? Hey, like, what does that mean? You just pointed at me. That's not a fucking answer. That's what they've been doing. Hey, when will the nodes make money? Soon. Real soon. When? Sooner than you think. Well, no, because I think tomorrow. So is it sooner than I think? Well, next quarter, Q2, October. It was 2 years ago, October. They were like, listen, these things go live in October. That's it. That's the day. That shit came and went. That's 2 years ago. And they just refuse to kind of face reality. Yeah, and here's the thing. I think at some little granular level, nodes work and they provably work, these software nodes. But I still think you need a minimal amount in production. It's the cell phone thing. It's the cell phone and the cavemen. I just wish they would be honest about it so that people can set their expectations, right? If I expect this to be working 2 years from now, that's different, and I'll make different investment decisions than if I expect it to be working 2 years ago when they promised. So, in my opinion, their messaging is terrible. They don't listen to anyone. When they were negotiating these deals, Tufi did all of this stuff on his own in secret. He didn't include anyone else on the team. Why? You do that when you know the rest of the team is going to be reluctant. When the other adults in the room are going to say, I don't know if that's a good deal, man. Not only that, when Tufi went to do the South Korean deal, his lawyer was there. They made some change up at the last minute. Again, Tufi paid about $14,000 to have the lawyer flown in. So he gets there. Oh, Tufi just makes some little changes to the agreement right then. The lawyer says, hey, let me look at all this and see what the remedy. He goes, Tufi said, we don't have time for all that. What do you mean we don't have time? You brought me here for this sole purpose. The only reason the lawyer is there is to do this one moment. This moment is to look at weird changes, 11th hour changes, and make sure they're legally binding and that we're not getting ourselves into a hang up. No. I don't have time for lawyers. Well, okay. But you had time to spend $14,000, $20,000 bringing me out here, not counting how many hours I'm going to book on the way back. First class tickets, driving around in a fucking Ferrari. Like, dude, I guess I'm even more frustrated since we started what we're doing at Cinema. And again, when you take money from the public, private, whatever, when you take on money from other people, your vision is now in second place. The number one law is you service the fucking investor. That's your job. That is it. That is your only job. The minute you take $1 from someone else, it's not your money, motherfucker. You don't get to drive around in a fucking Ferrari that's not yours and fly first class to countries you shouldn't be at and squander and then make excuses why you can't make payroll. Which I'm sure they're blowing that shit on me. I'm sure it's my fault that the Korean deal fall apart. Like I fucking know anyone in South Korea. Fuck. So like that's my fault, I'm sure. And 6 people will go, oh yeah, Nick, oh, he's a troublemaker. And then the other 17 people will go, I don't think that's logical. Yeah. So maybe I'm hypersensitive about hypercycle because I'm dealing with making every single dollar that an investor gives us at Cinema go as far as it can. Right? I mean, if you work for me, you have to be 2 things, thick-skinned and really fucking good. Otherwise, you're fired and you're fired. This is not the culture over there. And maybe that's the difference between a money person managing money and computer scientists managing money. I don't know. So I'm not giving up on hypercycle. It's not that. But they have made some really, really poor decisions and they have an unwillingness to admit that. And so you get message creep to the point where no one knows what the fuck is going on. Like maybe it's just me. Brandon, do you have any idea what's going on over there?
Not yet. I'm working on it.
No clue.
Working on it. Not yet. I'm working on it, I said.
Anyway, that's the end of that little kind of rant. But, well, I guess part of it maybe in service of like any of you out there that are doing anything where you're managing other people's money, they got to be the most important thing. Those investors, your job is to make those investors money, or at the very least, you have to protect their investment to where they don't lose money, right? Yes, I know it's an investment. Yes, we're all adults. And yes, there's always risk involved in investment. You have to invest to the amount that you're willing to lose. And I understand all that. But when you're on the other side of it, and many of you here are business owners and many of you have taken money and whatever. And it's the same thing. If it's a bank, if you got a loan, guess what? You must service that money, that loan. That's not your money. You've taken investor money. Luckily, you didn't part ways with equity. But point is, once you take someone else's money for your thing, they become the priority, not you, not your, weekend niceties and all that. The investor is in first position. And I think when you forget that, or people that forget that, they're starting to blow it. That's all I have to say about that.
True.
It's not, no, Greg, you're missing the point too. It's not misleading investors. All sorts of companies launch. And matter of fact, Greg, do you know the future? Do you know the future? All of you guys talk class action. That's so fucking stupid. You guys are being stupid the other way. Class action. I'm gonna sue Ethereum for not going up today. It went down today. I'm gonna sue them. They should have known. No, man. Again, if you have a company, you don't know the future. Nobody knows the future. Nobody. You have to do the best with what you have. Their problem isn't that they have misled. Their problem is they're not leading at all. There is no communication and it's sloppy. And their money was mismanaged. Okay? They're not buying themselves private islands and, rings and fancy shit. That's not the problem. It's sloppy behavior. It's no understanding of what a runway means. So Brandon, you got this new company, Brandon Inc. I invest $1 million. Your burn rate is $100,000 a month. So what's your one runway, Brandon, with my $1 million?
10 months. 10 months.
That means you got to get it done in 10 months. If you don't have it done, you're going to have to go out and look for money. When? About 5 months out, because you have to get more money before your runway is exhausted. When you don't focus on that, when you don't focus on how far will these dollars get me, you start spending them sloppily. And if you are not in the money world, then hire someone who is, or put them on your founding team. Oh, wait, they did. So then if you have that, listen to what the fuck they have to say. And that's the problem. Those guys, not all of them, mostly Toofy. He's a great guy, but he is stubborn. And we talked about this when we do our cognitive biases, we talk about this all the time, injury by intelligence. You're smart at a thing, so you think that means you're smart at all things. Man, I stay in my fucking lane. You know how many guys dude, we've got like 6 guys full-time over at Cinema. They all know stuff that if I started right now, I will never know, ever. I don't have enough years left to figure out what these guys already know. I can't ever compete with that, ever. But I'm good at money. And I'm good at managing people to get the most out of them. So I stay in my lane. I just do that. And that's what I was supposed to be doing over at Hypercycle. Be the one rational person that's not a computer scientist. Well, kind of Brandon and I both. Brandon on the tech side. Brandon would tell them on the tech side what you can and can't really achieve as far as sales and Web3, because they have no clue about Web3. So Brandon was the Web3 whisperer. Brandon, how much did they listen to you over there?
That's their biggest problem. It's somebody asked a question. You've both started companies. Is it normal to have this many hiccups? What I told them, here's the problem. They just didn't pivot when they had these hiccups. They had everybody in place to be able to pivot, like myself, for example. Like I've been in Web3 a long time. I walked them through the steps of what they should do differently, contract-wise, on a smart contract level. Even, for example, yesterday we had to fix some things. And one of my devs went back. He's like, I cannot believe they're still making the process to make a node factory this hard. Like he just because we had to revisit some errors that they were giving us. And so we went through the steps again to make a node factory. Those are the good old days. And it's just so antiquated. It's so beyond what needs to happen in Web3. And we told them all this and they didn't pivot. So that's what all those hiccups, they never pivoted. They never listened to us regarding Web3, regarding what would happen. Nick and I both told them what would happen to the Amphi marketplace as soon as we started giving people the ability to sell and buy Amphis at market. We told them what would happen, and it happened, and they just won't pivot. They won't listen to us. So it's fine to have hiccups in business. There's especially businesses that are like new frontier type businesses like this one, like AI businesses or businesses that have never existed before. There's going to be a lot of hiccups. So I don't blame them for having hiccups. I don't think that that's the bad part. The bad part is them not having the ability to listen to their advisory committee or those who are willing to give them free information to help them pivot, and they won't pivot.
Yeah. Here's
so that's their lack.
Almost all the names I said are on the payroll that I was telling you about. You know, Brandon and I are not on their payroll, right? They didn't give us a fucking dime to build Node Market. We just built it. So like we doubly they should listen to us even more. Because guess what? The only thing that ever made hypercycle any money, selling node licenses. Guess where that occurs? Node market. Did they build node market? No. If we flip the off switch right now, they're over. We would never do that. Obviously, we want them to succeed, right? And I still have nodes and ampies and things like that. But like, dude, at some point, after years of being told, you guys got to do this, you guys got to do this, and they are oblivious, and you cannot get a straight answer out of them. And this isn't just them. This is a lot of these. Oh, listen, no different than GMRT. They just crashed sooner. Libra actually, Max does listen. So I can't really wage this criticism at Max. Max is more of a money guy there, and that's why we can kind of talk a little bit better. And he said, quite frankly, he said, hey, we can't launch the token right now. One, and I agree with him, it's a terrible environment to launch a token. True. Two, the token, we can't make the token forced to be used by these big data aggregators. And like, so with Libra, you want to get data from the small stores, right? And you want to entice them. So you make the Procters and Gambles, the Mondelez, the Nestle's, you make them buy the token to get the data, right? And then they trade the little small retailers for their data. Keeping it simple. Only the small retailers don't want some weird token, and Nestle doesn't want to buy tokens. They're like, I just want to give you money. Just give me the data, man. I'm going to give you money and you're going to give me data. And the main point of the business is to make money, right? So what did Libra say? Fine, just give us the money. Okay. And so then Max told me, listen, we don't know what the use of this token would be if we can't force these companies to use it. He goes, maybe it's something we have to get further down the road and then entice them by saying, hey, listen, we can discount the data you guys are accumulating if you use the token. Oh, that could be enticing. But they're building that market. But you know what they are doing? They're making $400,000 a month right now. Raise your hand if you make $400K a month. Right? So they're making money. So right now, is Hypercycle making $400,000 a month? No, they're negative many, many millions because they don't make any revenue. So one of them's run by a money guy leveraging AI. One of them's run by a group of AI guys, of which none of them understand money. And it's not math. They're all very good at math. Toothy's very good at math. Okay? Math ain't money. Math is not finance. And if you think they are the same, you are not good at finance. It is, man. There's a reason when people look around, there's a reason why people are where they're at. And mostly it's financial kind of reason and logic. And it's a different kind of reason and logic. It's not directly obvious. Being good at math doesn't mean being good at money. And that's unfortunately where we're at with all of these AI companies. You typically have these guys that are good at math and not good at money. And the not good at money part, that can create a lot of problems. Now, on the other side of it, if you had to melt that whole company down and sell their IP and pay back all the investors, you probably could, because there's some good IP there. But maybe it's in the wrong hands. I think that, and I broached this subject over a year ago, that maybe it was time to bring in a competent CEO that has some skins in the business world, not in AI world. Bring in someone that's built a business, sold a business, or managed a big business, and let them run it. And then Toofy and those guys can go back to the nerdery and do what they do. Click, 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 click. Come up with some amazing code and things like that. Or at least tell the AI to write the code that they want, which is where we're at now. But if you don't have an adult in the room and you won't listen to the only people that are giving you logic and reason for 3 years, I don't know what else. So that's where they're at. You can look at there's a lot of companies that are in this kind of bind right now where they got the wrong people running the ship. There's a reason CEOs get fired and replaced. It's what's for the good of the company. There's also a reason where when a CEO gets fired, the stock goes up in value.
Like Lululemon yesterday. Stock went up 12%.
Oh, did they nuke
just
the boss?
Because the CEO got fired. Oh, wait. He left.
Yeah, he left.
So fired.
He left to what they always say. They always say, to
pursue other opportunities.
Yeah. Pursue other opportunities. It's there's nothing to do. We wait. Since they won't give us the tools to implement the nodes, there's nothing we can do. Since they won't implement their nodes, there's nothing we can do. I thought Tufi had built several successful businesses. Maybe. And listen, Tufi's a friend of mine. I love Tufi. He's awesome. He's been over to my house tons of times. His kids have been over. Like, we are good friends. I would not loan that dude $40. But you know what? I wouldn't loan most people $40. Okay? Because I have a certain way that I think business should be done. And if it's not that way, I'm not giving anybody my money. Period. So, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I know if you've built several successful businesses, I just can't imagine that the kind of mistakes that are being made on a day-to-day basis here, that you could get to here, like that you could get to where we are now. I just don't think you could get where we are now if you've had some successful exits. Now, maybe he sold some IP. That's very possible. He could have built some cool things and sold some IP. But I promise you, he's never led successful businesses, because you can't lead a successful business with no messaging and no product. At some point, someone asks for one of those two things.
True.
I'll stand behind a good product and a bad leader because leadership changes, or I'll stand behind a great leader with no product because he'll find a way to sell something, right? But if you have neither, okay. Let's go ahead and get behind the wall. As you guys know, the markets, for whatever reason, what was the time you always said, Brandon? 7:42? Is that the bad time?
It's 10 a.m. Eastern. It always starts crap in the bed.
We don't know
Eastern.
why. It's the craziest thing. It just a real quick look, and we're going to talk about it behind the wall. I'm not sure what happened this morning right then. I was working out. I was doing a set of squats. I guess I was doing a set of squats at 7. And when I look back at my phone, it was down. And when I checked my phone again, it was down. When I checked my phone again, it was down and down and down and down. And we're setting new lows. And
as we speak.
And I got no clue what happened. Nothing. I got nothing. So I go, okay, well, maybe it's an Ethereum thing. Maybe Bitcoin's fine. Oh, snap. So doing my set of squats, checking my phone, checking my phone, checking my phone, checking my phone. Now, what does all this tell you? We are still in an extremely illiquid gross market. Look at that. We're under 3 again. We're under 3. So we had this good recovery for 4 or 5 days. And then, so we're still in this. I mean, look, we just got a Fed rate cut, back-to-back rate cuts. We got, again, we all know rate cuts don't matter, but dummies don't know that. And we got QE. They announced QE. All the money printing in the world. Whoa. So the problem is the market participants, not the assets. I think it deserves further conversation, and we'll do that behind the wall.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yay.
I did get some good F-bombs out today.
Yeah.
You know, I'm actually trying to be better about it when I'm playing my game. I'm trying to I keep my microphone turned off so that I'm not at least being offensive to other people.
Yeah.
But then I'm trying to, it's hard because you got to program yourself. I'm trying to go, okay, before I drop an F-bomb, take 3 breaths. And it's like,
It's like count to 3 before.
yeah, yeah. And I'm
Yeah.
trying to do that to get me to not have my default. I don't want to use F-bombs the way people use commas, right? So like, they only really work if they're appropriate and timely, right? Used to create, what is it they call exclamation in a statement or impact. Anyway, Denzel has the right amount of F-bombs. I gotta get on Denzel's F-bomb like rotation because his is good. Mine are wasted. All right. Mine are wasted. I got wasted F-bombs, people.
He's got a good rotation. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a good rotation. He's so smooth with those. He drops those F-bombs. You want to put it on a plaque or put it in a fortune cookie, what he just said. That's how good he is. All right.
The articulate F-bomb.
Yeah, he's the art of the F-bomb. You know, he really nails it.
Yeah,
behind the proverbial wall now to continue the broadcast privately for the digital investors and digital private clients. If you'd like to join us, simply go to nickblacknext.com and subscribe to one of our plans and immediately take advantage of our library of tools, tactics, and information. It's all designed to help you learn, grow, and manage your portfolio like a pro. Join us now.